I am Dungeon Thrasher Lenny Blade, and this is the Dungeons and Thrashers show. And as you can see by this empty shelving behind me, I am moving house soon. But today I just want to talk a few minutes about the Middle-earth campaign that we just finished, me and my group, the Korat Fellowship. So, yeah, without further ado, let's take a look.
Alright, so this campaign started off with me just wanting to run the Bree-Land adventures for some friends. So we started in the Bree-Land, and I put kind of a, what do you call it? Like a red herring, like it wasn't supposed to lead anywhere. It was just a reason for them to go from their respective cultures, you know, where they come from, to Bree, and then meet there, and then I was supposed to run the 3 adventures from the Bree-Land region guide. Now, unfortunately, I didn't manage to keep them in the Bree-Land for long to run those adventures because it seems, you know, I made an NPC that they were supposed to find. That was the reason why they all went to Bree from their respective cultures. And I guess I made this NPC too interesting, so they decided to escort him all the way back to Mirkwood. So I started running the Mirkwood campaign instead, you know, mixed with some of my own stuff. And I managed to tie everything together by ending this part of the campaign about, you know, the first 7 years or so in the Mirkwood campaign out of 30 years, by ending it in Bree as well. So I managed to tie it together pretty well there. Now, my plan was, because I'd run the Wildlands adventure before, and so my plan was to get both parties to level 7 or 8, and then, you know, go, and then they would meet each other and then go on this grand high-level adventure together, both of the groups. So that may or may not happen in the future, we'll see. We are using Cubicle 7's excellent 5e conversion of the One Ring system. Now, this is all old news, because the One Ring has a new edition now from Free League, and also Adventures in Middle-earth is now called the Lord of the Rings RPG, which is a 5e version of that. But so if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I love Adventures in Middle-earth and just the way it's written. And I think the 5e basic rules, you know, you add and you take away stuff to the 5e basic rules, and you make it more thematic and Tolkien-esque. And apart from that, we also use some house rules to further sort of sharpen the 5e rule set and make it into something that we enjoy playing. So, yeah, that's basically what we've been doing. I hope to combine both of my parties and do like a high-level campaign in the future. I tend to have a lot of exploration and role-playing in my campaigns, and in this campaign we have normally 1 or 2 battles per session. So there is combat for sure, but there have been a session or two without combat, because I try to run a very narrative game with a lot of exploration, travel, meeting interesting people. I do have some puzzles as well. I also include troop movement and mass combat in my Middle-earth campaigns. So there's a slight spoiler ahead now from the Mirkwood campaign. So my players decided to unite the free peoples of Middle-earth and some of the animals as well. They managed to get some tribes of wolves and so on to assault Fenbridge Castle and drive out the orcs. They travel to talk to the dwarves, elves, wolves, Bjornings, and woodmen. I thought they would try to contact the eagles, but I guess maybe they didn't think about that. But anyways, it went well for them anyway. So depending on how their audiences went, this is an audience. This is our special rule in Adventures in Middle-earth, which, if used correctly, adds a lot of feel to the game. So the respective leaders would send aid or not. So they managed to get all the woodmen cultures, the Mirkwood elves, the wolves, and the Bjornings to join in the battle. The way I do mass combat would look something like this. I won't go into details in this video, but it seems to work. Basically, you roll for each flank, so I had 3 flanks, and the players act as sort of a commando force, and they can choose which unit to attack and to decimate that unit, or send it on the run, you know. So it seems to work well. I used this in the last campaign as well, though slightly different. And yeah, so yeah, we've enjoyed this campaign. They went from level 1 to level 7, I believe. Oh, 7 or 8. So, and I do individual experience points. I don't do, what do you call it, milestones. I do, like, you get experience for what you do. And not only for combat, but also for evading combat, for social interactions that go well, for, you know, exploration, all kinds of stuff. So I give out XP. So if you sit back and you do nothing and you just fight the monsters, you would get less XP than someone who's, you know, more upfront about everything. Anyways, this is just wanted to show you and tell you a little bit about my Middle-earth campaign, the second one that we just finished. So I'm hoping to run another one soon. All right, see ya.